Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 62 of the On the Moment podcast. And you are not hearing TJ today. This is Justin. TJ is too busy running the company, doing CEO type things, but we had an emergency announcement. We've got some big news in the industry. So I wanted to kind of jump on here and talk through what's been going on, specifically around the DraftKings, the autograph, the Tom Brady drop that is now happening tomorrow. They sprung this on us very quickly. So that is tomorrow, Wednesday, the 11th, the drop happens. And so for this, we'll kind of make this nice short sweep, but just kind of talk through, give you all the information you need to know to get you prepared for that drop, how to kind of walk through, as well as some analysis that we've kind of put together using that NFT value theorem to kind of evaluate, is this a project that we should be considering? What do we think about it? Is it something that I should be kind of interested in as a collector, maybe a speculative investment, and so forth? So let's start off. I'm a producer today, so please mind if there's a little wonkiness within the slides and such, but I will be. This is on YouTube. It is also for the pods, but on the stream, we're going to walk through kind of the details. So starting off, the big news is DraftKings autograph. We've talked about this once or twice before. We put an article out, but they just announced this morning that the marketplace is live and the first drop is going to be tomorrow, and it's for none other than Tom Brady. What does that drop include? Well, it sounds like this is going to be the beginning of what they're calling a preseason access collection. We know that Autograph already has a large amount of partnerships with people ranging from obviously Tom Brady, Tony Hawk. Let's see, there was, I'm trying to find the full list. Wayne Gretzky was one of them, Naomi Osaka, Tiger Woods, the list goes on. Lots of elite names there. And expecting to see some of those actually create their NFTs in partnership with Autograph and DraftKings as the actual marketplace platform that is going to be offering these, doing the drops, and then providing a secondary marketplace. For more information on it, so start off, you go to your DraftKings, I think you will need an account to participate in this, both from a drops and both from a secondary marketplace. And we've also just got done listening to their CEO, Dylan, talk about kind of just the behind the scenes and give some advice for in advance of this drop. And some of the tips there are, start off when you log in, you go to the marketplace, make sure that you have your account going, make sure that your account is funded. We can go through the prices for what to maybe expect for tomorrow, so you can have an idea of how much balance you want to have in your account. But they did mention it is beneficial to have that preloaded. So if you do have the opportunity to buy, you don't have, you can go faster through that method. What does this look like for the initial one? So we have two drops. We have two, I'd say the Tom Brady Premier and the Tom Brady Signature is the two kind of classes. One happening Wednesday starting at 3 o'clock and then tiering each hour, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 3, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And then Friday again from 3 to 7. You can see on the screen a little about what those options are. So the cheapest version is going to be $12. There's 5,000 of those that are released, all the way up for the Premier, up to $100 with 375 released. And these, it sounds like we can see what the NFT looks like. It's cool. It's clean. I would say from we'll get into how we kind of think about it, but it's definitely, it has Tom Brady. It's got the card. It looks similar to the autograph that some people actually created on their own. And I think the big things here are around what this actually gets you. This is the very first one. This does give you access to their official autograph preseason access. So they're calling it that pass. You're getting access to the private community on the Discord as well. Although, to be honest, I guess maybe that's something that's going to be created for NFT collectors because their public Discord is already open. And so for tomorrow, on the hour, they're going to be releasing these ones at different scarcity. It sounds like it will be a bit of a queue system. So they mentioned that a half hour before the drop time, there will be a queue that you can join. Sounds very similar to what we've had in the Top Shot space. And then we'll see what it looks like, but something as when the drop starts, there's probably going to be that queue system. Hopefully it's not just a first come, first serve, but I guess we shall see. So that's for Wednesday. Friday, the big difference is we're actually getting autographs from Tom Brady on the NFTs themselves. These are a bit in a higher price range. So starting at 3 o'clock, there's 100 of the first two, and those are both going to be $250. All the way up to the most expensive is $1,500, and there's only 12 of these. What's pretty cool is the way that these were actually signed is, and the way they're doing it with all their talent, is they're sending them a sending them a tablet with a stylus, and each individual NFT is hand signed. So no two NFTs will look the exact same. There will be some probably small differences in the actual signature for each person. So I think that does add a nice little personalization that I wasn't expecting versus if it was just a, hey, sign one and then all the NFTs have that same autograph. So I think that's a cool, nice little feature. If you look at the videos now, I don't think you can actually see the autographs, but I'm imagining after you purchase, you'll then be able to. But overall, I think it's a way that I think about this is you have two teams, you have Autograph, you have DraftKings behind it. There's a lot of effort. There's a lot of, push. And I think they're going to want to do what they can to make this successful. But what we can do is kind of go through using that NFT value theorem that we've discussed in the past. So at a high level, to catch people up, NFT value theorem is what we created after analyzing over 100 different NFT projects, trying to learn and understand what makes some successful while others not so much. And let's see. So here is that on the moment NFT value theorem. On our OTM site, we posted a longer article that also kind of goes into depth on definitions for these. This is actually what TJ kind of wrote up at a high level because he had a short little mini video earlier in the week. But what I want to do is kind of just walk through how I'm approaching this project, how I'm kind of evaluating, hey, what do I want to buy of those? Because they're I have to make the decision is, do I actually want to spend the time, the effort, the money to join this project? Two, there's prices ranging from $12 all the way to $1,500. Which of those should I be targeting? What do I think is kind of the best either value or the thing that most aligns with my interests? So at the beginning, we start off with the speculative value. High level here, there's kind of 6 buckets that I look at when I'm looking at speculative value. First one is team. Team behind this, I think, is phenomenal. Obviously, you've got the Tom Brady side. You have, a lot of money, a lot of investment that's behind this. It's hard for us to really know from an actual tech standpoint and from like a, dev, but I have no reason not to believe that they have a very strong team there. And I think most important is, as we've seen, comparing to some of the NFT avatar project, we know the faces that are behind this. We know there's a large company. We know there's a lot of reputation here. We know that Tom Brady and all these other athletes are putting their not only their reputations, but also from a financial aspects behind this. So I think that team aspect, we've given a grade there of an A. From a roadmap perspective, I think we've given a B+ because we do have an idea of who are the other athletes. This isn't just a one-off thing. We know it's going to be more coming, and they've started doing some small hinting around gamification, maybe some challenges, some collecting, maybe some other unique ways of having these dropped. And Matt Kalish, the president of DraftKings, referenced that, hey, like these NFTs, their hope is that they're going to build such a large community and put the wealth and the girth of DraftKings behind this with their marketplace. And that's what we've seen where, we've had friends who have already received push notifications around this. If you look at the DraftKings.com, you can see that the marketplace is really front and center from an advertising as well as just incorporating in their larger business. So I do think this is going to be something that is going to be prioritized and long-term, an important part of their business. So B+ for the roadmap. From a community angle, DraftKings has 1.5 million monthly unique players. This is likely going to be the largest move of people from sports, fandom, collectors, whatever it is, into NFTs that we've seen probably since Top Shot, and has the potential to be even larger. I don't think it's going to, at least not nearly as quickly as Top Shot did, but 1.5 million user base that are active on that site have the opportunity to kind of learn about this and move in. So from a pure sense around what is the opportunity to kind of build that community, bring in new people to the NFT space, really excited about that. Gave that an A with a rating just because of the upside. And when we think about it from an actual Discord component, they have access to some of the most elite, superstar talent. Who's to say they can't just have those people come in for a meet and greet or a virtual AMA? Maybe it's some swag drops or something. So, I think lots of opportunities there. And so we'll see how they kind of carry through, but gave that an A. From a partnerships, from an intellectual property stance, obviously having DraftKings involved is huge. Cannot ignore that. The immediate access, the credibility that gives to the NFT, immediate staying power is largest from a larger ecosystem. I think from an IP, the one downside here is that we're not involving the leagues. So it's not going to get actually Tom Brady throwing a football during a game, during a Super Bowl, because you don't have the NFL sign off. You don't have the Patriots or the Buccaneers sign off. So they will have to be a bit more unique around what these NFTs look like. And that's why that first one really is just that Tom Brady face. But I do hope long-term they do get a bit more innovative, get a bit more creative with what these NFTs look like, because we're not going to have the actual game film. And so for partnerships, gave it a B+. For media awareness, I think we're going to see the traditional methods. We've already seen kind of some press releases there. I think the big opportunity is how much these athletes really get behind it. Like, does Tom Brady, his 2 million Twitter accounts, does he put a tweet out in advance of the drops? Does Tiger Woods make a push for this? Or is this going to be where Tiger Woods is a bit more behind the scenes? I think that's still yet to be seen. So we gave media and awareness a B. Opportunity there, but we still, we're going to wait. We're going to be cautiously optimistic. Wait till we see it. And then the last one is around technology. Looks like this is built on top of Ethereum, a layer 2 solution. It uses a side chain. Long story short, we have confidence in the technology. The downside is that you are not able to immediately take these NFTs and put them into another Ethereum wallet, take them over to OpenSea. They have said that this is a long-term on the roadmap. Within this year, it's going to get done. I would have liked to have seen that functionality to begin with, but it is what it is. That's okay. We're going to give the technology a B+. I did like that Matt Kalish mentioned earlier, the president of DraftKings referenced that while we're going to have that opportunity for you, we don't think people are going to want to use it. And I think that kind of goes to, yes, it's a talking point, and yes, it's the right thing to say. But also, if they truly do have the ability to bring in that 1.5 million, even if it's only 1% of that, and we're talking 15,000 people who are sports collectors and having NFT, and they're not on OpenSea, but they're on DraftKings, maybe it makes sense for us to actually hold these in our DraftKings wallet rather than elsewhere. So I get that, give that a B+. Overall, speculative value, what's very, most important part of the formula is are there going to be buyers? Are there going to be interest long-term? And I think we gave this an A- because we are pretty confident that, hey, this will have that speculative value. Digital value is that second component. With this one, I don't know. It was a little tricky because it's a clean finish. I showed you the NFT. It's a strong loop. You can tell that there's some good design behind it, but it also it's a bit basic. It's just kind of a card that floats there, but maybe that's all it is for this first one. The autograph thing I think is very cool and its unique aspects. That definitely kind of gives it a bump up. But this isn't something that you're going to be able to go use in the metaverse somewhere else. It's not something that when you're comparing to Top Shot where you're actually seeing some of the greatest highlights and plays and such. This is just kind of that card. So digital value, I'd say, leaves a little to be desired. And we hope that in the future they kind of continue to innovate around the actual NFT. And now the last one is utility. From a physical utility, as far as we know, there's none. No physical utility. Could see in the future maybe lining something up, but nothing right now. From a digital utility, it's autograph Discord access. We'll see what that turns into. We mentioned that it's a private one. If they're selling 5,000 of these, we can expect that maybe that's going to be limited to, a 5,000 person Discord, which is not the smallest, but it's, not the smallest, not the largest either. But I think it's all about what kind of value they bring to it. But I think the real utility here comes from this preseason access pass. Is this going to be comparable to the 9 Lives Lounge? Is this going to be comparable to being an early adopter on another platform? We're not really sure, but we'll see. And so they're definitely pushing it as like, hey, this is the entry level. This is your at the first NFT that we're releasing. No question that, hey, you bring in Tom Brady's company, it's going to be for Tom Brady. This is probably the most attractive aspect for me, especially if you're considering getting in at that $12 entry point, is whether it's the $1,500 one or the $12, it seems like it's same utility from the physical, same utility for the preseason access pass. And that's what I don't want to get left out on. That's probably the thing that's going to drive the most people to get in that queue on tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Try to actually get that $12 pass. And then it'll be interesting if people get locked out of there. Do they level up and pay the more expensive one, get a little extra rarity, or what happens there? And so for utility, we gave that a B. Overall, NFT value, we think that this is a strong project. We're really bullish on the team behind it. Obviously, it's the first one, so it has a bit more risk. But I also think that, hey, these are two teams that, especially DraftKings, the way that DraftKings became so successful is they had overlay in their tournaments, which meant they're willing to give up money just to as marketing and bring new people into the ecosystem. They lost money for the first couple of years on so many tournaments just because they said, hey, it's okay because we're giving more money out to our players. We're keeping our players happy. We're bringing new players in. And long-term, they built an extremely successful business. It would not shock me if they accept that, hey, this is going to be a loss leader. They're going to accept losses on this. They're going to find ways to just deliver value to the collectors, just because they want to make this a successful product. We've already seen it in their strategy, in their game book. Okay, so that's a lot there. That's the way that I was kind of thinking about it. Without a doubt, I will be there in the queue tomorrow for the $12 one. I will then kind of see how things go, see how much activity there is, which ones, whether I get one and whether I want to kind of keep, leveling up for that next one if I miss out, or if I want to get multiple. You can only get one at each tier. And then I think it'll be interesting come Friday because I really like the idea of these autograph ones. And based off I'll probably use the demand on Wednesday to kind of make a decision, use that in the formula for, getting a bit more information on that speculative value on whether or not I think, I'd be able to get these later for cheaper on the secondary market or not. And so I'm interested in those autograph ones come Friday, but we'll see. Okay, so that was the majority of what we had. I will throw out as well, if you do go to the OTM site, you can see there is this long, more in-depth article that Bachman and I kind of partnered on. He added a lot of the kind of the 101, the information, the basics, what you need to know around this, the drop schedule, the drop times, everything. And then down below, you can actually see the HerzigBot strategy. So we got that value theorem and everything that I kind of just went through now with the individual ratings for each, as well as kind of a summarized, a type up of what's going on here, what my thought process was. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. This was just kind of, as we said, a last minute thing. We wanted to make sure we got this to you all before the launch starts tomorrow. So I will now send this over to Coop, get him to pump this out to the YouTube channel, pump this out to the podcast. I don't ever get to say this because it's always TJ's job, but if you like the content, if you enjoy these, please give us those 5-star ratings, give us the reviews, make a joke in it, make me laugh. Who knows, I might send you a moment. I don't know, but we really appreciate it. It really helps us out, and it kind of continues to allow us to kind of provide this content for free and drives us to want to do it. So that is it. So for producer myself, for TJ, who's running the company, for Coop, who's going to put in the effort that's necessary behind the scenes to get this published, and for me, it was great to see you all. And I'm stalling as I find the outro video. Goodbye now.